Say your prayers, Andros. Don't get too cocky, Star Fox.
Let's see how you handle our new ships.
Too bad Dad's not here to see you fail. We'll make sure you never reach Andros. We'll just see about that, Star Wolf. You guys don't give up.
Welcome back to more Star Fox 64. Last time we got through Sector Z and Area 6, so this time we've made it back to Venom, where we're fighting Star Wolf once more. You have better ships this time, but overall this fight is very similar to the previous ones. You want to get behind them and then use regular lasers more so than charge shots to take them down. They are a lot more aggressive this time and can also evade our attacks a lot more easily, so we need to be very careful, especially because we're pretty beat up after Area 6. So each member of Star Wolf gives us 50 points, and the medal for this variant of Venom is 200 points. So it's not too difficult if you manage to defeat all of them yourself, otherwise it can be a little bit tricky to actually get the medal score. They can crash into those pillars, by the way, and members of Star Fox can also take them down. So if you manage to defeat them yourself, it's a pretty easy medal to get, otherwise it's kind of tricky. I think we took down Pigma, which is good, so Peppy will be fine, considering he had the lowest health after Area 6. Friendly fire really doesn't help while trying to keep everyone safe here. Alright, so I think Andrew and Wolf are left, which isn't too bad. I say as Slippy is immediately in danger. Well, there goes Andrew. So now all that's left is Wolf. Once we take down Wolf, we'll be able to explore more Venom.
No way! I don't believe it! I'll go it alone from here.
I've been waiting for you, Star Fox. You know that I control the galaxy. It's foolish to come against me. Now you will feel true pain.
So the tunnels are different this time, and if you want the maximum amount of items before fighting Andros, you have to pick a very particular route. Actually mess it up, but this'll work out. So we're fighting Andros once more, and similar to last time, it's divided into two phases. The first phase is basically the same as the first phase of the easy fight, so we have to destroy his hands to reduce the amount of attacks he has, and we can also shoot for his eyes to deal damage. We can still use bombs to interrupt his attacks like before, which is very good to keep in mind once we destroy both hands, and he's left with only the one attack. Like so. So yeah, overall this isn't too difficult. This shouldn't take too much longer than it did the first time, and then we'll go on to a different second phase.
Only I have the brains to rule my life.
So, Andros, you show your true form.
And this is the true final boss. So, it's Andros' brain, and he also has two eyes. My advice would be to destroy the two eyes first, so they'll leave you alone, and then you can go for the brain. it can't really attack us directly, but if we crash into the brain, you'll usually lose your wings, because you'll get caught in its, like, tentacles. And yeah, crashing into the eyes or brain is definitely the main way it deals damage, so overall this isn't too difficult for the final boss, but it can be a little bit tricky. Again, like the previous one, we don't have a health meter, so we can't even see how well we're doing, which also makes this a little bit tougher. The brain can also teleport around, which sometimes can actually work in your favor if it teleports in a way where it's actually facing away from you, and you can actually deal damage. So basically, the underside of the brain is its weak point, but we can't fly too close, again, because it has like these tentacles that deal damage if we get caught in them. So we need to be very careful, deal damage whenever we can, and yeah, overall, I have no clue how long this will take, because there's no health meter, but I don't think it should take too much time. The main thing is just trying to actually get into position where you can actually deal damage. Like right now, it's behind us, which isn't great. So let's try to circle around like so, deal damage. So this is an example of its attack. This deals a ton of damage and also destroys your wings, so we're down to regular lasers, which shouldn't be too big of a deal as long as we manage to avoid getting caught in that attack once more. The main thing is this fight will just take longer because we'll deal less damage to the brain. But still, this shouldn't be too difficult and shouldn't take too many more hits to destroy. It's a very unique final boss, and kind of nice to have a different sort of style of fighting, because in the first fight on the easy path, or the lower path more specifically, we have an on-rails fight. In this path, we have an all-range mode fight, so a nice little change of pace there. So yeah, I have no clue where the brain is. Looks like, oh, there it is. So yeah, let's try to finish this off.
If I go down, I'm taking you with me. Don't ever give up, my son.
Father?
Follow me, Fox. This way, Fox. Never give up. Trust your instincts. You've become so strong, Fox.
Fox, you're okay!
Way to go, Fox!
That's our leader. What's wrong, Fox? Nothing. Nothing's wrong.
And with that, we've reached the true end of Star Fox 64. I really like this game a lot. Even as someone with no nostalgia for this is a very fun game to pick up and play. Again, each route doesn't take very long, like an hour usually, so it's very easy to just play a little bit, try different routes, go for high scores, and overall, I can see why it's considered a classic. It's a very solid game that holds up pretty well. If you have not played Star Fox 64, the easiest way to do so is through the Wii U Virtual Console. Again, outside of the brightness problems, specifically for Aquas and a few other levels, this is a pretty solid way to play it. I like having custom button configurations for the Wii U Virtual Console, so as someone who doesn't like using the C buttons or the right control stick for boosting or braking, this is a lot more convenient. The other obvious option is the 3DS version, which I think was a Nintendo Select, so it does have a discounted price of like $20 US, digital. I don't know how much physical copies are going for, probably a lot, given that the 3DS market seems to be going up in value, now that the system is a little bit more rare. The 3DS version does have quite a few quality of life differences and improvements, but there is something charming about the original visuals and the original voice acting. Either way, you can't really go wrong, both are very solid versions of this game. Obviously, there's also the original N64 version, but because it's a Nintendo 64 game, I feel like that would be incredibly hard to find and rare, so I would recommend other versions before the original.
Star Fox, we are in your debt. I would be honored to have you as part of the Cornerian...
Oh no, sir. We prefer doing things our own way.
Great Fox is ready to go.
It's time for us to go now.
Even though we reached the end of the harder path, we're still not quite done yet with this playthrough, because there are a few topics and modes that I still haven't gone over. So we'll be doing that next time. But yeah, I highly recommend this game. It is probably my favorite Star Fox game. Now, I kind of go back and forth because of nostalgia, even though I have a lot of nostalgia for the other games in the series, because this was one of the later ones I played, because I played like Star Fox Assault and Star Fox Command before this. I can admit that this is still the better like overall package. You know, there's very little like padding, there are very few bad levels in this game. Like, the overall quality is really solid, and even though there are a few levels that I'm not really a huge fan of, it's still a pretty all-around fantastic game. There's a sense of charm to it with the characters, and the art style, and the voice acting, that's kind of unique. So, yeah, if you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it. And yeah, I would love to get around to the later Star Fox games as well, like the GameCube ones specifically, but it'll be a while if that ever happens. In any case, I had a lot of fun going through all 3 routes this time, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough as well. And our final score for this route was 1,076 points. That is still lower than my practice run of the hard path, but overall I'm really proud of that playthrough. Aside from a couple levels like Aqua's not going terribly well, it went pretty smoothly overall. So with that being said, we do have a few extra things to go over, so thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Star Fox 64.
This is one steep bill, but it's worth it.